Yo, what's going on, Digidestined, Dragon Ballers, people of YouTube? Today we're going over the Cocytus Blue Starter Deck cards for the Digimon Trading Card Game. This is coming out in January, but from what I understand, there's going to be an early release in November. I don't know all the details on that. The website says that this stuff comes out in January, but I've heard through the grapevine there's going to be a November kind of pre-release, but that'd be pretty cool to get the starter decks a few months in advance and kind of have a mini format with just the structure decks. So if you know more about that, leave that in the comments below. But anyway, guys, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. If you want me to keep doing Digimon content, like the video so I know to keep doing it. And finally, guys, if you want to get sealed product for Digimon, go down in the description, check out Madtown Gaming, our channel sponsor. Awesome place to get product from. With that being said, let's get started looking at these Digimon. So we have Pseudomon, we have our Digitama, level 2, in training. Your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP when battling an opponent's Digimon that has no Digi-Evolution effects. I should mention this is a Digi-Evolution effect. So you basically get a boost when you're fighting an opponent's Digimon that was pretty much hard casted. So besides like in the raising area with your Digitama deck, you're going to be hard casting a few of your rookies, like 2 cost, 3 cost, things like that. So you get a power boost to beat over those. That's actually kind of cool in like a mirror match where, for example, if you're casting a Gabumon and you have your Pseudomon underneath it, the fact that you get that power boost is kind of an advantage like in a mirror match. But there's also in the red and yellow starter deck as well, there's rookies with the same amount of power level. So whenever your opponent's hard casting a rookie, you actually get an advantage off of that when you have the Pseudomon in your raising area. That's pretty cool. So we have Gabumon, one of the vanillas. We've seen a lot of these. I mean, again, it is a starter deck. What can you expect, right? A lot of vanillas here with the very early release of the game. So a 2-drop, 3k DP, 0 evolve rate. I'm pretty sure there's one of these for every single color. And then we have our Gabumon with an actual Digivolve effect. So this has less power, but it offers an actual effect for Digivolving. So that's kind of like trade-off there. When attacking, trash a Digi-Evolution card under an opponent's Digimon with a level of 5 or less. Okay, that is super cool actually, because that means that in combination with Zoodamon, you can make that effect more alive on Pseudomon. But now, for example, I don't know if this can be stacked in an order to make that work. For example, let's say you're attacking with a Digimon that has the Digi-Evolution effects of Gabumon and Pseudomon. Now, let's say you activate Gabumon's effect to remove their, underling Digimon from their Digimon. And then let's say after that they have no underling Digimon, no Digi-Evolution effects. Does Pseudomon then able to resolve? That's something I don't know. That seems like a little bit more of a deeper layered type of ruling that I'm not so sure about. So if you know more about that, definitely leave in the comments below. I'm still trying to learn all the more intricate rulings of Digimon for sure. But that would be really cool for work like that, because you'd be basically getting the automatic boost there if you're up against like a champion or a rookie that came out of the raising area, right? So moving along here, we have Bearmond. This guy looks pretty cool. I've never seen this guy before with a backwards hat. So he's a vanilla. He's a level 3 rookie with 4k power. He is 1 more cost than Gabumon. I don't know, when it comes to these things, I mean, you're paying less for a smaller Digimon, but paying more gives your opponent more memory to do things with. But I feel like the 4k power is really, really strong. So I don't know. I feel like I would just forego the Gabumon unless for some reason the math and the memory worked out perfectly to where you really just want Gabumon. But anyways, let's go to some of our champion level Digimon. We have Ikakumon, champion vaccine. We have 5k power, and he's basically another vanilla. So for 2 memory, you can evolve him over any of these rookies here. Let's go into Metal Garurumon. This is I don't think it's supposed to be Metal Garurumon. It looks like a regular Garurumon. But anyways, I guess we'll give him a read. So when attacking, trash a Digi-Evolution card under an opponent's Digimon. Okay, so it looks like he offers the same exact thing as Gabumon, but I guess he doesn't have a level restriction, right? So not having level restriction helps you when you're battling up against, like, I guess, like Megas and some Ultimate Digimon. So that's pretty cool there. I like that a lot. It seems like that's what this deck wants to do, is basically trash your opponent's Digi-Evolution cards, and that actually makes them lose skills. So in a way, it's like you're kind of negating effects, which I think can bring a lot of value. So that does seem kind of strong there. And I like in this starter deck how this starter deck stuff starts doing what the deck wants to do early. Like, I was a really big fan of reading the yellow stuff. I think Seraphimon is really, really cool in what it does, but I think that deck starts doing what it wants to do very late in the game, whereas this deck and the red deck seem like they start to do their thing a little bit earlier, like with some of the earlier stage Digimon. But time will tell how the starter deck format works itself out, right? So going on to Grizzlymon, champion vaccine, we have 6k power. This guy has an effect of its own, no Digi-Evolution effect. When an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Digimon to force the opponent to attack it instead. When attacking, lose 2 memory. Okay, so basically blocker. And when it attacks, because it is so beefy, you lose 2 memory. We've seen one of these Digimon in each of the colors now. I guess they wanted to somehow include beefier Digimon without, you know, being too free, essentially. But again, I think this is going to be an effect that in the future people are going to look at and be like, why do they ever print this card, right? This is going to be an unplayable card, I'm sure, at some point in the future. But for now, it is a bigger Digimon. 2 memory doesn't seem all that bad, especially if your opponent gives you an excess amount of memory to play with, because I just remember Chrono Clash, like, sometimes not having a play available, and it feels kind of bad to end your turn and just give your opponent 3 free time. So at least being able to make use of some of that time with an attacker like this that's so beefy, maybe that is worth it in the end. But I definitely think you include 4 Garurumon automatically. I think Grizzlymon maybe is a little bit iffier territory. Maybe you play 2 copies of this, if anything. Moving on to Were Garurumon, we have Ultimate Vaccine, Beastkin, 7000, Digi-Evolve effect. Your turn, as long as your opponent has a Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cards, this Digimon checks 1 extra security card. So I hope they kind of made this a lot less wordy when it comes to the English release, but I guess, well, you know, we'll see. Like, I'm sure the thing I just read before is going to be just dropped to blocker. And I guess there's a reason why you can play Grizzlymon as well, just because you can keep him in active mode and just block with him. So maybe they're actually trying to disincentivize you from attacking with him. Maybe that's another way to look at it. But anyways, back to Were Garurumon. So we know the deck does a lot of this early. We know the deck trashes Digi-Evolution cards very, very early. So this seems like it should be online relatively quickly. So that does seem pretty good to me. Next up, we have Zoodamon, Ultimate Vaccine, Sea Beast, once again, 7000, evolves for 3. And he has an effect of his own, no Digivolve effect. When Digivolving, trash 2 Digivolution cards under an opponent's Digimon. Very good. So basically an enter play effect in that sense. When he comes in, trash 2 Digivolutions. And that seems like it can combo pretty well with our Were Garurumon there, as long as you're able to, you know, basically get 2 Digivolution lines going, which I don't really think should be that hard. So both these cards actually seem good. I think what we've seen in the other decks is at the ultimate slot, there's one generally better Digimon than the other. But anyways, let's move on to our Megas. So Plesiomon, this is a straight up vanilla. We've seen this before. Our 10 drop, 12k vanilla. We have to compare it to the Metal Garurumon to really see what it does. So yeah, did they really put Metal Garurumon twice? I guess they did. It probably was just a mistake, but that's okay. So Metal Garurumon, 11k, 12 drop. I think the other 12 drops only had 10k power. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I remember that on Seraphimon. But anyways, effect, when attacking once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. Is this like a dual attacker? Wow, that's actually kind of nuts. And then I think, what was it? Wasn't it Were Garurumon gives him the checking 2 security? Okay. That seems kind of insane. Like, basically attacking twice in Dragon Ball, we call it dual attack. And with the Were Garurumon, he's basically a double striker. So he can attack twice, checking 2 cards out of the stack each time. So that's swinging for 4 damage on its own. That seems really, really strong to me. So let's read Yamato Ishida. Start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. Seems good, especially again if you want to attack with that Grizzlymon. And then security, play this card without paying its cost. Of course, we've seen that in all the trainers. Very good. Now we have our options. So for options, Hammer Spark, 0 cost, always good. Main, gain 1 memory. Security, gain 2 memory. Okay, that seems really good. For 0, gaining 1. There was a card like that, I believe, in the Naruto Chrono Clash set that was actually really, really broken. I think it was actually a 3 cost gain 5 time. So it's like a similar card to that. It seems really, really strong. Then we have Sorrow Blue, a 2 drop. Main, choose one of your opponent's Digimon that has no Digivolution cards. That Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Seems pretty good to just like freeze a card, especially in this type of game where it seems like removal is a little bit sparse and you don't want your opponent just free attacking your stack. So this does seem pretty good. Security, choose one of your opponent's Digimon that has no Digivolution cards. That Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your next turn. Kind of weird they didn't just say activate this card's main. I think we've seen that on quite a few options, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, we have Kaiser Nail. We have a 4 drop. Main, choose a Digimon Digivolution card, place under one of your Digimon, and play it as a Digimon without paying its cost. Wow, that seems pretty strong, actually. So, I mean, I guess there's like a downside of doing that because, you know, for example, if you're giving your Digimon a Digivolution effect, you probably don't want to do this. You probably don't want to detach that Digimon and play it, but if you need another attack just to go for game, of course you would do that. So that does seem like a situationally pretty good card. But then again, too, if you want to start a new Digivolution line, that also seems pretty good for that. And then security, activate this card's main. I wonder if this is like mandatory. So I wonder if this thing, you know, gets security effect off by being in the stack. I wonder if you have to detach Digimon from one of your evolved Digimon. I don't know about that. Let me know in the comments below if that's like a mandatory thing. But that would be kind of interesting. So Cocytus Breath, we have a 7-drop main. Return one of your Digimon to the opponent's Digimon to the owner's hand. Trash any Digivolution cards placed under it. Okay, another ruling question. If you do this, if you bounce an opponent's Digimon to their hand, but it doesn't specify trashing any Digivolution cards under it, do they basically get to keep that lesser Digimon? Do they get to keep that lower level Digimon on the field? I do wonder if that's the case. That would actually be a very, very interesting dynamic when it comes to like bounce remove. Security, activate this card's main effect. So all right, blue starter deck seems good. I like what it does. I like how it starts doing its thing early of trashing Digivolution effects. And from what we've seen, I mean, there aren't too many Digimon that have their own actual effects. So dealing with those Digivolution effects actually seems incredibly strong. So at this point, we've read all the starter decks. If I had to rank them, I don't know. I think yellow might be the strongest. I really do like how Pseudomon kind of deletes Digimon. But then again, if you're up against blue as the yellow deck, what do you do? Because if they remove your Digivolution effects, you know, you're really not going to be able to resolve any of the powerful effects that come along with deleting things with Pseudomon. And then red just kind of seems like general beatdown. So I don't know. It seems like the best one would either be blue or yellow, and then red, it kind of seems good in general. Maybe more of like a medium slot. But of course, we'll have to see how this all interacts with the actual first set. But it seems like we will have a starter deck format for at least a few months. So guys, do let me know in the comments below what you think once again. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.